Matchstick here. I want to ask you something that's been on my mind for a while now. What if the US dollar, the currency that's basically run global finance for the last 80 years, is slowly starting to lose its grip? Not collapsing, I'm not saying that, but shifting. Quietly, strategically, over years. And if that's actually happening, what does it mean for you? Not just in some abstract geopolitical sense, but for your savings, your purchasing power, your financial future. That's what I want to get into today. For decades, the US dollar has been the dominant currency in global finance. Now, the exact figures get debated. It's not some fixed percentage that everyone agrees on, but the basic reality isn't really in dispute. The dollar sits at the center of global trade. Most oil is priced in dollars. Most international debt is denominated in dollars. When countries hold foreign reserves, a huge portion of that is dollars. That's just been the reality of the financial world for a long time. But something is shifting now, slowly but noticeably. You've probably heard the term de-dollarization being thrown around. And I get it. It sounds dramatic, maybe even alarmist, but what's actually happening isn't a sudden collapse. It's more of a quiet strategic question that more and more countries are starting to ask. What happens if we rely too heavily on one currency, especially one we don't control? So why is this coming up now, specifically? A few things are driving it, and I think it's worth looking at each one honestly. The first is geopolitics. When sanctions were imposed on Russia, particularly the move to freeze dollar reserves, it sent a signal to a lot of countries that had nothing to do with that conflict. The message they took away was, dollar reserves can be weaponized. And if that's possible, holding too much of your wealth in dollars suddenly carries a risk it didn't carry before. Or at least, a risk that wasn't as visible before. The second is U.S. debt. It's crossed $34 trillion now. That's not a number that causes immediate panic, but it does cause long-term concern for the countries holding large amounts of U.S. government debt. They're not dumping it tomorrow, but they're thinking about it differently. And then there's BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. A group that's been growing more active and more coordinated. They've now invited countries like Saudi Arabia and Iran into that orbit. And what they're actually doing, not just talking about, is trading in their own currencies. China and Brazil, for example, have already struck a deal to trade directly using the yuan and the real, no dollar intermediary. That's not a press release. That's a structural change in how two major economies do business. There's another piece of this that I think tells the story more clearly than anything else. Gold. Central banks around the world bought over 1,100 tons of gold in 2022 alone. That's the highest level of central bank gold buying in decades. And that trend carried into 2023. China, India, Turkey, they're leading this shift. Why gold? Because gold doesn't belong to any one country. It can't be frozen. It can't be printed into inflation. It's nobody's liability. When you see central banks moving this aggressively into gold, you're watching a diversification signal in real time. They're not necessarily betting against the dollar. They're just making sure they're not entirely dependent on it. If this trend continues, what actually happens to the United States? A few things, potentially. Borrowing costs could rise. If fewer countries are buying U.S. Treasury debt, the U.S. has to make that debt more attractive, which means higher interest rates. That affects everything from government spending to mortgages. There's also inflation pressure. A weaker dollar means imports cost more, and the U.S. imports a lot. Goods, components, energy. That cost gets passed along. But beyond the economics, there's something harder to quantify: influence. The dollar's dominance has given the U.S. a level of global leverage that no other country has. The ability to enforce sanctions, to shape financial flows, to operate with a kind of monetary flexibility no one else has. If the dollar's role shrinks, that leverage shrinks with it. That's not just an economic story, it's a geopolitical one. Now bring it back to the personal level, because this is where it actually matters. If the dollar weakens meaningfully over time, your purchasing power abroad takes a hit. Travel gets more expensive. Imported goods, electronics, clothing, food get more expensive. And if your savings are almost entirely denominated in dollars, you're carrying more currency risk than you might realize. That doesn't mean the dollar collapses. It means concentration in any single currency carries risk, and right now that risk is worth thinking about more seriously than before. So what do you do with all of this? First, and I mean this, don't panic. This is a slow-moving shift. You have time to think, not react. But the answer isn't to ignore it either. Diversification is the core idea here. That means looking beyond a single currency for your savings and investments. It means considering some international exposure in your portfolio. It means looking at assets that have historically held value during periods of currency weakness or transition. Gold being the obvious one, but not the only one. And honestly, the most underrated thing you can do is just stay genuinely informed, not in a doom-scrolling way, but in a way where you understand the forces moving beneath the surface of the economy. Because when you understand what's happening, you make better decisions. You're not reacting to headlines, you're ahead of them. The dollar is still dominant. That's still true today. But the world is reorganizing around it in ways that weren't happening 10 years ago. These slow structural shifts, the currency deals, the gold buying, the debt concerns, they don't make the news the way a crash does, but they matter more in the long run. The real risk isn't that everything changes overnight. The real risk is assuming nothing is changing at all. I'm curious where you stand on this. Do you think de-dollarization is a genuine long-term shift, or mostly noise that gets overhyped every few years? And are you doing anything differently with your finances because of it? Drop it in the comments. I actually read them. If this gave you a clearer picture of what's going on, hit like and subscribe. More of this kind of breakdown coming. Until next time, Matchstick out.